What's good, YouTube? I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. We are going to get into this weekly outlook, but before that, we're going to do a verse of the day. I want to start doing this in videos more. So today is going to be the first day of our Bible study time. So first we're going to start in Psalms 18, and I'm going to read this passage. Psalms 18, 1 through 6. I love you, Lord. You are my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my Savior. My God is my rock, in whom I find protection. He is my shield, the power that saves me, and my place of safety. I call on the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and He saved me from my enemies. The ropes of death entangled me. Floods of destruction swept over me. The grave wrapped its ropes around me. Death laid a trap in my path. But in my distress, I cried out to the Lord. Yes, I prayed to my God for help. He heard me from his sanctuary. My cry reached his ears. This is what I wrote down from the key takeaways from this verse to me, what I thought. So in Psalm 18, I said, when times are tough and it feels like the roof is caving, things are hitting the fan, and there is no hope, remember, the Lord will forever be your rock, the solid foundation that will not let you fall or be swept away during a storm. Call on his name, and he will answer you. Shout out for him, and he will be with you during the storm. So, it's a great verse. I encourage you guys, read your Bible more. Spend some time with God. He loves you. He wants to hear from you. And now, let's get into the video. What's good, YouTube? Good afternoon. It is now Sunday, and it is time for our markup, our weekly analysis and outlook for the week. I hope you're excited, just as excited as I am to get ready for this week. We got some pairs setting up, not as much as last week for sure, but there is definitely still opportunities in the market. And yeah, as you can tell, I did move my room around, so that's why it doesn't look like a normal setup. But let's get into these charts and see what we're looking like for the week. Alright, everything you see in yellow is what I'm actively looking for. What you see in blue is what I'm iffy about. Either we have some gaps, or it's still setting up, or they're not the cleanest looking setups. But 3 for sure, 2 actually for sure, 1 I'm still waiting on. So the first pair we're going to look at is USD Chef. This is definitely going to be my #1 pair for the week. Very excited about it. So let's take a look at market structure for one. So as you can tell, we start up here. This was our last high in the market. And we're going to go to our last low. As you can tell, our low was broken. So then we just move this. So now, the most recent low. This comes down to the most recent high. Boom. Low was broken again. What do we do? Move it. Move this to the most recent high, which is right here. As you can tell, it was broken low. This right here was a gap, so I'm not counting this, but this is definitely the break of this low. So that goes here. This goes and stays at our most recent high, which is right here. We see that the weekly is now bullish. Perfect. So now let's switch to the daily. As you can see on the daily, we had been in this consolidation box all week. I mean, not all week, for the past, how long is this? Let's see. Been in this consolidation for the past 36 days, which is insane. But, needless to say, we finally broke out of our consolidation. As you can see on the daily, let's just delete these. Start over. If we want to start here, that's cool. This was our most recent high. Our most recent low is here. So as you can see, we're bearish because we broke structure right here. So we don't care what market's doing until it breaks another low. Broke a low here. This goes to the most recent high. Here's our gap. So we don't count that. Break a low again. Another low. Our most recent high. We break our recent high. So now the daily is bullish. Then obviously the 4-hour will also be bullish because the daily is bullish. So Now all we're waiting for is for a little pullback here to our level of support and resistance. See that market structure starts to slow down and change to go bullish, break out of our consolidation box, then take it for a buy. This is our area of support and resistance, because obviously you can tell right here, price did not want to break it. So I selected that area. Then right here, we also had some consolidation and some rejection candles from it. And in previous, we had a wick down here. Price stopped, kept going. Also in the previous, used it as resistance and as support over here. So I think this is a beautiful area for us to look for a beautiful buy position. In terms of our take profit, I haven't fully decided yet. I will decide when we get there. This is a possible area of support and resistance. Obviously you can tell that it's rejecting this area here. Rejection, support, resistance, rejection, right? But we could also target this last high in the market. So we'll make a decision what we want to do. But right now, I'm looking more towards holding to the full recent high. But if we decided not to, it would be another one. It would be a 1 to 2, which is also beautiful. So that is what we're looking at for USD Chef, my #1 pair. Now let's take a look at AUD New Zealand, which is pretty much the same exact setup, honestly. So again, let's start on our weekly. We can start here, for example. Well, let's start down here. Might as well. As you can tell, we were bearish over here. Why? Because we were making lower lows, lower high, broke this low. Don't care what it's doing. Broke the low again. Broke the low again. So we're bearish, obviously. So this is our last low, our last high. We obviously break it. So now this high gets changed to here. Break the high again. This gets moved to here. This gets moved to the recent low. Break our low. So now we are bearish. This goes here. This is our recent high, recent low. We break this high now. So now we are bullish on the weekly. And now we're just in between this. So it doesn't matter what the weekly is doing. As long as it's between here, we know that the weekly is bullish. So now we can flip to the daily. And we see the same thing, right? We can start at this high right here. Clearly you can see that we were bullish at the time. This is we were bearish, recent low, the high was broken, switch to bullish. This will be our low, this will be our high, and we break our high. Now, this is our low, this is our high, break our low. So now we are bearish. This is our low, this is our high, break our low again. This gets moved to there, and this gets moved to here, and this gets moved to here. We go bullish. That's now our high, our low gets broken, low, high, doesn't matter what it's doing in this area until we break either side, break it and go higher. So now this goes here, and then we break our high again. So now this is the high, this is the low. Beautiful. Daily is bullish. Now we're waiting for, same thing, 4 hour was also bullish because the daily is bullish. We are now going to wait for a pullback to our area of support and resistance on the daily, which you can clearly see. Resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, clear area of support and resistance, 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 support, resistance, and support, 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 support. Get the picture. So now, all we are waiting on now is a 4 hour or daily pullback to our area to then for us to slow down, consolidate, break our consolidation box, and then for us to take it on up. Our take profit now is going to be our most recent high, which is going to be right here. So it's going to be that one. That is going to be our take profit. So if we go to the 4 hour, find our most recent low, put that down, then delete this. This would be here. Our most recent low would be here. And TP1 here. Go back to the daily. TP2 would be here. Full take profit would be a 1 to 2.85. Very, very awesome trade. Looking forward to it. So we shall see how that plays out. Now, GU. I am a little iffy about GU now that I've seen that we have just gapped as market opened. On Forex.com charts, the broker, we can clearly see that the weekly and the daily are both bearish, right? And if you don't believe me, we can mark it out. So we can start here. We were clearly bullish right here, making higher highs and higher lows. We were bullish. And we break our high here. This goes here. This goes here. We are bearish now, right? On the dailies, on the weekly time frame. Sorry. Then on the daily, same exact thing. Making higher highs and higher lows here. Break our high. This is now the high. This is the low. We go bearish. Low, high. Break again. Now that's our low. Here's our high. We break to the upside. Right? So now this is our high. And this is our low. And we broke, obviously. So now we are bearish on both the daily and the weekly. But we see we gapped right here. Price should be here, but it's here. Anyways, just look at another chart, right? So that way we can get some more confirmation if we're actually correct. So if I type in GU, GBP, USD on another chart, and let's just pick Oanda charts. You can clearly see we have not gapped on Oanda charts. So let's do our exact same drawing. Start on the weekly. You can clearly see that we're bullish right here. That's our low. This is our high. We break up. We go bullish. And this would be our low here. We have not broken our low on the weekly. So the weekly is bullish as of right now. Same thing with the daily, except the daily is bearish. So this would be, we just start over. This is our low. This is our high. Then, sorry, this is our high. We break it. That's our high. This is our low. We go bearish. This is our low. This is our high. Break again. This is our low. This is our high. And we break and go to the upside. So now we're bullish. That's our high. This is our low. Break again. This is our high. And this is our low. Right there. Clearly we are bearish. Weekly and the daily are now not in sync. I don't necessarily like that. I'm starting to move more towards trading with the weekly and the daily in sync at the same time. Higher the time frame, obviously, the more of a chance that price is going to go in that direction. So I'm really trying to trade with the weekly and the daily time frame now, not just the daily and the 4 hour. Even though the strategy that I use personally, you need 2 time frames in sync, I would really like the daily and the weekly to be in sync. Not so much really caring what the 4 hour does, but obviously we can tell that the 4 hour is bearish. So I could take this setup if I wanted to, but I would prefer the weekly and the daily to be in sync. So we can do the same thing on a different chart. It doesn't have to be Oanda. So let's do the same thing, GBP, USD again. Let's check this FXCM chart. Clearly see that price still hasn't broken here. So I'm now iffy about GBP USD. Don't really know what to do with it because this gap is kind of throwing me off. So as of right now, I'm probably just going to stick with USD Chef and AUD New Zealand. Everything else is either extremely choppy or I am not looking at trading them, like USD JPY pairs or JPY pairs in general. I'm not trading them because they are not doing or respecting support and resistance as well for me in my strategy. So I'm staying away from them. Or any other pair is having the weekly and the daily not being in sync. So I'm not going to trade them. But as of right now, this is our weekly outlook. We've got these 3 pairs that we're looking at. Now let's take a look at my last 3. I completely forgot one. But so either these the blue flags that I flagged them, they are either the weekly and the daily are not in sync, or we missed the trade. That's flat out. We missed a trade, and now we need price to retrace to our area of interest, and then for us to either sell or buy again. So Euro GBP, let's take a look at it. We have marked out that the weekly and the daily are bearish. We can confirm that right now. Start right here. This is our high. This is our low. We break our low. This is now our low, and this is now our high. We clearly see that the weekly is bearish. If we go to the daily time frame, we can see that this is our low, right? So this is our high, and this is our recent low, right there. Price can do whatever it wants to do in between these two lines. Until one of them is broken, we are bearish. So, as you can see, price came up to our area of interest, then rejected off of it, and we can clearly see right here a beautiful head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and the break of our neckline. And we also retested our neckline right here, so we missed the trade. But if price decided that it wants to pull back up into our area of interest, again, then consolidate and break, we could then take it to a sell of our most recent low right here on the daily time frame. So that is what I'll be looking for Euro GBP if it decides that it wants to come back up. But obviously we're still looking at our prime yellow yellow flags over here. So same thing with GBP, CHF. I have the weekly and the daily and the 4-hour all bearish. We can mark it out real quick. This is our recent high. This is our recent low. Price can do whatever it wants to do in between these two lines. We clearly know that the weekly is bearish. Now, this is where it gets tricky with the daily. Let's take this line down so we can use it. And let's pull this line up so we can also use it. All right. So we can clearly see that over here, price was bullish. This is our recent low. This is our recent high. Price breaks our high, so now this gets moved. That's bullish. That's our recent high. That's our recent high. That's our recent low. We break it, now we're bearish. This is our low. This is our high. We break it again. This is our low. Then this is our high. Right? We are bearish. I would be waiting for a retest of this area of interest right here of clear support, support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance. Obviously makes sense. Resistance, resistance, support, support, goes on forever, right? But the one thing that's tripping me out is obviously if we were to break above here and close, we would now be bullish on the daily time frame, also giving us no trade. So if price were to decide it wanted to wick into this area and then sell off again, then we could take the trade. That is why it's blue, because it's a coin toss for me. Last one is AUD CAD. I have the weekly and the daily and the 4-hour all bullish. We can mark it out. Start here. This would be our high, and then this would be our low. We clearly break our low, so then this would be our now new low. This is our high. Then price can do whatever it wants to do in between our two lines. It breaks our high. So now this is now our new high, and this is now our new low on the weekly time frame. Now, switch to the daily. We'll start here, since this is already here. This is our low. We were bearish here. We break our high. So now this becomes our new low. And then this becomes our new high, where price changes colors. Then we break our high again. We are bullish still. That becomes our new low. We break our low right here. So now we're bearish. That's our low. This is our high. We break it, we go bullish. So now this is now our low, and that is our high. Price can do whatever it wants to do in between our two lines. As long as price does not break one of them, we are bullish. Now, this is a blue folder because we have already broke below our area of interest. I would need price to break again, then retest, break and close on the daily time frame, then retest, then we can take it for a buy. We can say that this is our area of interest because we have a clear sign of support, resistance, dragging across here. We've got resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 goes on forever, right? So that is what I'm looking for. Yeah, so our blue folders, blue flags, we're not really looking at them too much. It is only if our yellow folders, yellow flags do not play out for the week. But this is what we're looking for our weekly outlook. And yeah, so I will keep you guys updated throughout the week. I am probably not going to do vlogs anymore. I am probably just going to do like trade updates. So this is what I took, how it went, what did I learn from them, so on and so forth. I don't think you guys are liking the vlogs too much, so this is what we are going to do and see how the week plays out and see what you guys like. In the meantime, go ahead and leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can start building a community. If you also like this video, leave me some feedback in the comments so I know what you guys like, what you guys don't like, so on and so forth. And also, remember that I love you, God loves you, and I will see you guys in the next video.